But since 2018, when the Wayfair decision became law of the land, which we'll talk about in just a moment, we now have not just substantial physical presence that we have to think about, but now we have to think about substantial economic nexus. And so economic nexus is the amount of presence that a seller has in a jurisdiction that is based on a measurement of economic activity. So we look at sales transactions, number of invoices into a state, or the gross receipts. So how much revenue did you actually sell within the state? And that decision, that ruling came to us through the June 21st, 2018 decision in South Dakota v. Wayfair. So this was a case that moved very quickly through the courts and basically found that a new nexus rule that South Dakota enacted in 2016 that used a threshold or a measurement of $100,000 of gross sales into South Dakota in a year, or 200 transactions in a year, that would be deemed to have that substantial presence activity. Now, there are some exceptions on the thresholds as well as definition of sales that can come into play, and we'll talk a little bit about those in a second. But luckily, the states, when they looked at this, the earliest a state went back and enforcing this economic nexus for sales tax is that decision date of June 21st, 2018, and that is New York that took that position. Although under audit, they aren't going back quite that far. So where do we have these different rules? We have every state in the US has passed economic nexus. The only one that is not yet effective is Missouri, and that will be effective on January 1 of 2023. And this map has different colors depending upon what their thresholds are. So the light purple it's $100,000 test only. The dark purple has the 100,000 or 200 transactions. We then have two states, Alabama and Mississippi down here, that are kind of the teal, that have a $250,000 threshold. We have this darkest color that is Texas and California that have a $500,000 threshold. And then we have two outlier states. We have Connecticut, that is the purple hash up here, the purple with the white hash on it. And they have an and test. So they are $100,000 and 200 transactions. And then New York similarly is an and test with $500,000 and 100 transactions. So that is the map of where we are today. You will see the state of Alaska is actually colored in the dark purple. Although Alaska does not have a state level tax, it does have local level taxes, and they have enacted economic nexus for localities that participate in a remote seller commission. So those are the different rules that we have across the states.